Hello, Chiefs Kingdom, and welcome to RGR Football. In this week's episode, the final episode of the regular season of Kingdom Corner. I'm your host, Danilo DiGiulio, aka ThunderDan88, across social media. Go ahead and click that like and subscribe button if you haven't been with us before, and hit that notification bell down there if you want to get our other videos that will be coming out later on this week. We put a lot of content out there. Ryan and Dan Harms are really busy at work every week, and we bring over some guest hosts, etc., and some other people will be climbing on board, I'm sure, as things go along. We build this team. This week, everything's locked up. What is there to say? We have the 14-1 Chiefs taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, who are sitting at 6-9. They're going to be coming into Arrowhead. They're going to be bringing their best game that they can. There's a lot of people going to be on the sidelines this week. Now, we haven't got it confirmed. I mean, I've heard it said, but I haven't heard it from the man himself, that absolutely 100% sure that Patrick Mahomes isn't going to play. I believe that's been uttered, but until I see it happen, I'm not going to believe it. I kind of am of the mind that I wish you would play a drive or so. I know there's no win. The risk reward is really not worth it, but it's a lose-lose situation. If you don't play him and the Chiefs perform poorly when they do play in the playoffs 2 weeks from now, those starters rather, then you should have played him. That's going to be everybody's going to talk about. The same thing happened to Harbaugh last season. They had the bye week. They sat Lamar Jackson for the final week of the season, a lot of the starters, and then they had a 2-week break. And when they came back, they were rusty, and they looked terrible starting the game, and they got steamrolled by the Tennessee Titans. If the same situation happens to the Kansas City Chiefs, everyone's going to say woulda, coulda, shoulda. Problem being, if you put them in there, especially if you keep them in there for any length of time, it can happen on one snap. If the ball gets snapped and Patrick gets hurt, everyone's going, Andy, what are you thinking? Sounds like they're going to sit him. They're definitely going to be sitting. Let's take a look at the list. Tyreek Hill, Mike Remmers, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Ben Neiman, and Sammy Watkins, all out. They're already listed as out. Good chance that Travis Kelce doesn't play, even though he's in the hunt for the to lead the league in receiving. I think they're pretty sure that Stephon Diggs is going to play anyway, so it's really not worth it to risk Travis getting hurt. And he looked a little nicked up in the last game, as well as Le'Veon Bell, who is questionable right now, as is Derek Nottie. They both have leg and knee things, hamstring and knee things, I believe. A little ticky-tack stuff, but not stuff that will keep them out of the playoffs. But that extra week to heal might be a good thing. The thing is, on the other side of the ball, the Los Angeles Chargers. It's going to take me a minute, folks. It's been 1 year. The Los Angeles Chargers are not exactly the healthiest team in the league either. They're going to be missing Joey Bosa, Brian Bulaga. That alone right there is enough. And then third level of the defense, Casey Hayward Jr. is going to be out as well, as Malik Jefferson down there in the linebacking core, and Rayshawn Jenkins, their safety, is going to be out as well. So the Los Angeles Chargers are missing a lot of players as well. So it doesn't mean it's a guaranteed win for the Chargers, even though rookie Justin Herbert, my favorite QB in the draft, slightly ahead of Joe Burrow, has been playing great and has set the NFL rookie record for passing touchdowns, exceeding Baker Mayfield's record by 1, and looking to extend that this week against our Chiefs. Hopefully he won't do so. That said, it'd be kind of nice to somebody to round it up to 30 and put a little pressure on our Chiefs to make sure that they're rounding into form. The great thing about this week now is, for a season where we didn't really have a proper preseason, you want the preseason. Why? You want the preseason because you're going to play guys who aren't going to get meaningful reps during the season. They're going to be sitting on the sidelines. They're going to be on the practice squad. They're going to be on the bench. Maybe they come in for special teams. Maybe they get a play here and there in mop-up duty, but they're not going to get any meaningful play. Chad Henne, our backup quarterback, who's a mustard starter, he's going to be out there starting apparently, and he's had, I believe, 5 or 6 completions out of 7 attempts. He's got a high completion rating, but he's got a total of 28 yards. But he does have 1 touchdown on a rush, even though he's negative 1 rushing yard on the season. But that's the way that good things go for immobile quarterbacks, of course. Now, as far as the other players, the young guys, you really want to see them in the preseason. We didn't get that. But the trick is here, we're going to get to see them in Week 17. In a regular season game, that whether they're in the playoffs or not, much like Patrick Mahomes' first year as a rookie, when he came in Week 17 against Denver, at Denver, this will be an Arrowhead, so we'll have the home field feeling, but it won't be the same without the crowd. These guys are going to come in here wanting to win now. these Chargers are going to want to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They want to finish the season on a high note, in a positive manner. They want to come in and they want to embarrass the champs. They know that Patrick's probably going to be out. A lot of the starters are going to be benched. A lot of the guys that do start the game are going to get repped out by backups. And they want to come in here and prove something. So they're going to be giving everything they've got. That means we're getting the equivalent of, say, a week 3 preseason game when most opponents play their starters for 3/4 of the game. We're getting that at the end of the season. And our young guys, our rookies, our backups, our undrafted free agents are going to get to go up against the Chargers' best players. The best players they have available, that is. So they're going to get really meaningful reps. At this late in the season, it's almost unheard of. Unless you, like we've done, wrap up the season a week early. No one else in the league has done that. The NFC teams are still fighting for the first round bye. Nobody's locked that up, which is something I'll go into next week. If we do have a Kingdom Corner next week, I'm still figuring it out. Might just take a hiatus like the team. But I might come back and do, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see it. I'm thinking of doing a Kingdom Corner on the MVP race, which I believe is should be between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. And the reasons why I think Patrick is getting slighted because of, I don't want to go into it. I don't want to spoil it. I'd like to talk about it for you guys next week. Let me know in the chat if you'd like to hear about that. But there's a lot of reasons why I think 15 should be number 1 in the league this year, as opposed to a lot of experts that are calling for Aaron Rodgers to win the MVP yet again. He's had a great season, but he's had some advantages, and he hasn't played better than our guy. Throw the stats out the window. They're not that far apart, and they really don't encompass the whole picture. But I'm not going to go into that here. Like I said, I'd love to see our young guys get some reps, some meaningful reps against some solid starters on that Chargers team. I'd love to see our guys finish strong and finish with the win. I'd really love to see multiple quarterbacks get some play. I'm not sure who's going to be up, if it's going to be Henny and Moore, if Patrick's going to be dressed but not playing. I'm guessing we're going to see Patrick in a hoodie on the sideline. I really don't think they're going to dress him because Andy's just probably not going to take any chance with him. Hey, Pat, you got close to 40 touchdowns. You got close to 5,000 yards. Should have got it last week. Sorry, buddy. You got to take a break. You got to sit this one out. That said, he had a great season. We're 14-1, trying to be 15-1. 15-1 teams haven't had great finishes. Green Bay, who's got the heralded possible MVP player, had a 15-1 season in which they got blown out in the playoffs by the New York Football Giants, who went on to win the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots that year. And they'd also, that 15-1 Green Bay team, that one was against your Kansas City Chiefs, led by Kyle Orton. So we have that little check mark to hang our hat on. I really hope everybody has had a great holiday season. Christmas is behind us. New Year's is behind us. I'm wearing this right now, okay, because this is very symbolic. I've been wearing masks. I got these masks for Christmas, and I'm using them as headbands because I have other masks that I use, and I really like these as decorative for the show, for walking around, whatever. It's really symbolic of Chiefs Kingdom. Let's try to fill in that color, all right? Because right now, Chiefs Kingdom's still got this weird disposition of where half the fans are still kind of living in the past, in the gray, in the, what's going to bite us next? What's the next bad thing that could happen? Whereas the rest of us are living over here. This is where I've always tried to live. And there's been very rare few occasions where I've gone to the dark side and felt really bad about our team. I genuinely look at this team with an optimistic eye every time I look at them and try to find the positives. Now it's so much easier than it has been in the past. But I'm trying to let's fill in the color, folks. Let's come together, Chiefs Kingdom. Let's come together. Let's go back to back and look to run it back again next season. I got that for my Run It Back pack. I think you can still get them at Hy-Vee in your local Kansas City shops. I'm not sure if they're still available. Get a little fanny pack and stuff for my daughter. It was a donation thing. There's charities going on. Check it out online on the Chiefs site. But let's hope for a big, nice finishing win with the Chiefs this week. Let's get our players rested. Let's get our guys healthy. Let's roll into these playoffs like just a jet fighter ready to blow people off the field, because that's what it's going to take. I think we're going to really have to punch these AFC teams in the mouth because there's some gritty teams on the AFC side of the playoff picture. The NFC's got some teams that are going to be slugfests, but they got a lot of guys that are kind of just dragging in there, they're fighting their way in. The tail end of the AFC, there's a lot of win and you're in. There's a couple teams that need some help, but I feel like the stronger division is the AFC. The stronger conference is the AFC over the NFC. And let's finish strong against the Chargers this week. God bless you and your family. Everyone, let's charge into the 2021 year with a win this week, wins in the playoffs. Let's run it back. Let's get our second Super Bowl in as many years. Go Chiefs.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.